Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today is the second session of lesson planning, and our focus is going to be Bloom's taxonomy and learning objectives. Bloom taxonomy is a classification of learning outcomes or the skills or objectives that the teachers set for their students. Benjamin Bloom introduced this taxonomy, and the domain it works in is education. This taxonomy has three categories, and these three categories are also called domains. So we have the affective domain, cognitive domain, and psychomotor domain. And teachers should work in all the three domains. Even if they don't intentionally do it, explicitly do it, they have an impact on the children's attitudes and their skills and their cognitive learning. So teachers must consciously plan for all the three domains. The affective domain has these three levels. The first level is receiving. When the children listen to the information, they get the information from adults or other sources, and they realize, they start responding to it. For example, you teach them honesty, integrity, you teach them perseverance, and they respond and they say, yes, this is important, we should never give up. Then they start valuing it themselves. The fourth stage is organizing. When they organize this information about the affective domain, the emotions and the attitudes, they start organizing it in their repertoire of behaviors. And finally, it becomes their character trait, and they start following it. So first is receiving, responding, then valuing, then organizing, and then finally it becomes part of their character. Then we have the cognitive domain. The lowest level of cognitive domain is knowing or knowledge. The second is comprehension. Knowing is that the students are able to define or explain the concept in the words that they have been explained. So if the teacher says that a noun is the name of a person, place, animal, thing, or idea, so they can repeat this even if they don't have a deeper understanding of it. The next stage is comprehension or understanding. Now they can actually understand what that definition means. This is the next step, and they can reword it and say it or explain it in their own words. Application is the next stage, when they can identify, when they can say that these are the things that are nouns. So the name of an animal is a noun, and name of a picture, or name of an object, or name of any material is a noun. So they are applying the information that they have learned. So knowledge, comprehension, and application. These are called the lower order thinking skills blocks. And then we have higher order thinking skills, or HOTS, which are analysis. The children are capable of analyzing, breaking something up and understanding how it is constructed. They can look at the elements of a story, and they can identify that this is the beginning, this is the introduction of the character, this is the orientation. Beginning is the orientation, and this is the setting, and this is the beginning, and this is the beginning can have orientation and all these, introduction of the character, etc. So they're able to identify these elements, and then the problem and the climax, and then the resolution of the problem. So they can break the story up and analyze it to see how it is constructed. That is analysis. Synthesis would be to gather information, pieces of information scattered here and there, and join them up together to create something new. For example, a character sketch, or they can write a summary, or they can explain it in a new way, so something that they have learned. Evaluation is to have judgments, to see why something happens and whether it should happen or not. What is the benefit of this? Should it happen or should it not? Should it have been done in this way or that way? So that would be evaluation. So these are the 6 levels, and the lower 3, knowledge, comprehension, and application, they are called LOTS, lower order thinking skills, and then we have higher order thinking skills, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Finally, we have psychomotor, and psychomotor has to do with manipulation and physical abilities of handling different things. For example, drawing an angle with a protractor, or using a compass, or drawing a straight line, etc. So all of these physical skills have to do with psychomotor. So this is Bloom's taxonomy. Let's see how it is applied in writing objectives. The 4th domain, I feel, is the technology. Without technology, survival in this era is close to impossible. So I feel that the 4th domain that we as teachers should work in is technology. We should try to integrate technology in our teaching. Language teachers need to focus on these 4 macro skills: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Listening and reading have to do with understanding, taking in information. By listening, we get the new sounds, the new vocabulary, but through reading, and the new pronunciation and all that, or those aspects from listening. These 2 skills are receptive skills. Then we have 2 productive skills which help us to communicate and to express our ideas to others. These are speaking and writing. And when we are speaking, the skills we need is pronunciation, intonation, and of course, in all of the 3, grammar is also part of all of it. So appropriate vocabulary is to be used in speaking and writing, and appropriate grammar has to be used while speaking and writing. And vocabulary is learned when we are listening to something, and vocabulary is learned when we are reading something. And of course, this is also giving input on grammar. Okay, now we come to writing objectives. So when we write objectives, we need to take care of A, B, C, D. So what does it mean? A is the audience, and we'll see what it is in a little while. B is behavior, C is catalyst and or condition, and D is degree of learning or assessment. Let's see what it means. So A is the audience. Identify who will achieve the objective. For example, after the lesson, learners will, inshallah, be able to. So your focus is on the audience. The learners are going to receive the experience. They will be engaged in an experience so that they learn something. So the language that we should use for writing the objectives should focus on the audience. B stands for behavior. Use action verbs that are observable and measurable, demonstrating the mastery of the objective. So these should be behaviors that are observable and measurable. For example, if you say the children will be able to understand the definition of nouns or some other concept, then how will you be able to see or measure whether the children have achieved the target or not? For that, you need to use a verb which you can actually see. The students will be able to tell the definition, write the definition, so you can see writing, and when they tell the definition, you can hear it, you can measure it. So you should use a verb which can be seen and measured. C stands for catalyst or condition. State the condition, if any, under which the behavior is to be performed. For example, from the given paragraph in the notebook on the given worksheet. So when you write the condition under which the action is going to happen, it ensures clarity. Clarity for you And when you share it with the children, clarity for the students. Finally, D means degree. Specify the criterion, where possible, for acceptable performance. For example, in 25 or fewer minutes. So time can be one criterion, and with no more than 3 errors. So these two tell us the degree to which the objective has to be achieved. This again clarifies for the teacher as well as the students that how much of what level or how much of the ability is to be required and what level would be acceptable to be successful in the achievement of the set target. Here is an example. After this segment, participants will be able to write. So write is the behavior which is observable and measurable. Write clear learning objectives. Clear is the degree, it specifies how much, in what way the performance will be done and it will be acceptable. So write clear learning objectives using the ABCD method. This is the condition and the audience is the participants. Let's go over it again. After this segment, participants will be able to write clear learning objectives using the ABCD method. So this is how the objective should be written. This is the language for writing the objectives. Here is the revised version of Bloom's taxonomy, and I feel that these actions should be remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, because thinking is an active process where you consciously do all these things, and the meanings are given here: remembering and recalling facts, understanding what the facts mean, applying the facts, rules, concepts, and ideas, breaking down information into component parts to understand it even at a deeper level, judging the value of information or ideas, and then combining parts to make a new whole, that would be creating. So synthesis, the position of synthesis and evaluating, this has changed, and evaluate comes here, and creating comes at the top as the highest level. Still, creating, evaluating, and analyzing are the hots, and remembering, understanding, and applying are the lots, the lower order thinking skills. Here we have a very short list of verbs that will help you to write the objectives. And you can just see, for remembering, we have recognizing and recalling. And here we have, for understanding, we have interpreting, exemplifying, classifying, summarizing, inferring, comparing, and explaining. And then in application, we have executing, implementing, and then analyzing, we have differentiating, organizing, attributing. In evaluation, we have checking, critiquing, and in creating, we have generating, planning, producing. So these verbs, and there are several other verbs that are available on the internet. You can visit the different websites, and you can take help from the list of verbs that are given there to write effective objectives for your lesson plans. Here are the references. That's all for today. See you next time. Allah Hafiz. Jazakallah for watching the video.